What's up guys, it's Ryan here from Tower Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Sanoxy, I believe it's pronounced, Bluetooth keyboard for iPad. I received this a couple weeks ago off Amazon for around $15. So I just thought I'd review it because I didn't see too many video reviews of it. Right now it has 257 written reviews on Amazon with 3.5 stars. So I thought I'd just get it on video and show you what it's actually like. So I'm going to run through the build quality, the setup, and then I'm just going to go over how it works in general and whether or not I think you should buy it. So at first blush, it definitely looks like a very high quality keyboard, sort of like a aluminum Apple keyboard, almost exactly like that. But the build quality is significantly cheaper as it's made out of all plastic, and what you see here is just painted sort of metallic paint underneath the white keys. So on the front you've got pretty much the exact same keyboard that's on a MacBook Pro. I lined it up with my MacBook and pretty much everything fits exactly. Then up at the top here, where you would normally have your function keys, which you still do as you can see there, you have some iPad, and they also work pretty well with the Mac. Not all work. So you've got the home button, you got brightness, search, that is the photo player I believe. You've got the bring up the virtual keyboard button. Nothing there. Rewind, pause, play, fast forward, volume control, mute, up and down obviously, and then you have a lock button there. Everything else is pretty much the same across these keys. So let's move over to the back now. This is where you start to realize how cheap this keyboard actually is. It's pretty poorly designed in my opinion, from a style perspective at least. Durability, I've dropped it off my desk a couple times and it survived. But I could easily snap this in half right now, like no problem whatsoever. It bends, you can probably hear how cheap it sounds. So you've got some rubber feet here to keep it from sliding on your desk, which work fairly well. Right there you've got the on-off switch. And next to that you've got the connect button, which obviously you use to connect via Bluetooth. When you press that, a button up here lights up, as you can see there, and that's also a low battery indicator, which I have not experienced yet after using this for a couple weeks. The battery life has been very good. So over here on the back you got the battery hatch there. Just pop it open, there's two AAAs in there. Let's just go get this hooked up with a couple devices and I'll tell you how it works with them. Alright, so the first thing I want to connect is my MacBook Pro. I don't actually have an iPad here, which is what the keyboard is supposed to be made for, but I'm just going to show you some other devices. MacBook Pro, Nexus 7, and an iPhone 5, which will pretty much be the same thing as the iPad. It has all the same functions that this keyboard works with. So we're just going to get it connected over here to my MacBook Pro simply by going up to Bluetooth over here and finding the keyboard, which I already have set up. Just clicking on Bluetooth 3.0 keyboard, and it found the keyboard there. So just click continue. There's not a whole lot of lag involved. I have noticed the lag varies from time to time. It can be worse sometimes. Like for instance, last night I was using it and it was lagging a lot, so I had to stop using it. But I've typed a couple essays up on this keyboard and I haven't had problems with it. So most people, I'm assuming, are going to get this for casual use, just to type up a quick email or something. So if that's what you're doing, definitely I'd recommend it. But if you're planning on using it as a primary keyboard, I recommend just spending a little extra money, as you'll get a better experience. But it definitely gets the job done. All the keys work, which is somewhat surprising for a $15 keyboard. The feedback is decent. There's not much play in the buttons. They don't go down very far, so I found that sometimes if you're like typing really quickly and not looking at it, you might not fully press a button down. But I've definitely gotten used to it, especially since let me get a better angle of this. When you put it on top of the MacBook Pro keyboard there, I mean, it's pretty much exactly the same size. It's definitely modeled after this keyboard. So if you're used to that, you'll definitely get used to this pretty quickly. So now I'm just going to go through some of the function buttons and see which ones work with the Mac. Alright, so we got volume. That obviously works. The lock button to the right also brings up a prompt if you want to restart, sleep, cancel, or shut down. So that's pretty cool. I guess it has some use. Volume down, mute also works. The media control buttons also work if you have iTunes open or something like that. So yeah, I press play and it automatically launched iTunes. Alright, so as you can see here, hopefully you can hear this, I'll turn the volume up. Alright, so there you go. They work. Obviously there's nothing here. Virtual keyboard, there obviously, there probably is a virtual keyboard somewhere on the Mac OS, but you never need to use it, so that obviously doesn't work. The photo viewer doesn't do anything either. And search doesn't work either. Brightness does work, which is nice. And the home button doesn't do anything, so that means that obviously you don't see any escape button here, so there is no escape, which I found myself kind of missing when I wasn't right up next to my Mac. If I needed to escape from full screen or something, it was just a little bit more of a hassle to have to do it manually with the mouse. Now let's move over to the Nexus 7. Okay, so we got the Google Now up, and we're typing here. As you can see, the text is moving across, so it works just as well on here. There's actually seemingly less lag right now, like it's actually instant, which is surprising, as there was always some lag, like with my HP touchpad Bluetooth keyboard. There was some lag, and that is somewhat more of a premium keyboard. So let's see what control buttons work on the Nexus. So we got volume. Yep, that's working. Power turns the screen off, turns it on. That's nice. It doesn't look like mute does anything. So yeah, these work. If you can hear that music playing. Alright, that's cool. Let's see if, yep, you can scroll through. It doesn't look like the virtual keyboard button works on the Nexus. So you're stuck using this while you have it plugged in. Let's see if this brings up photos. Nope. Search. Let's do it from the home screen. Yeah, the search works. It takes you to Google Now. That's pretty cool. Brightness. Doesn't look like that's working. Home. Yeah, that exits application. And we're connected. Alright, so let's try out the home button. Alright, so the home button worked, as you can see there. Brightness. Yep, that worked. And you actually see an animation on the screen that you never normally see, which is kind of weird. Search. Yep, takes you over to search. Start typing in there. Photo viewer, which isn't really a function of the iPhone, so yeah, that didn't work. Okay, so we did the photo viewer. That clearly does not work. That actually breaks your iPhone. Let's go into Safari and try. Alright, so the keyboard's already brought up, so let's see if this gets rid of it. Yeah, it does. Alright, if you can see that there. So that's nice. Nothing there. Music controls. Yeah, that works. Alright, you can mute, volume, and then lock. Alright, so just as expected, everything works with the iPhone except for the photo viewer button, which is a feature that is specific to the iPad, so not surprising there, but everything else works very well. Not much lag at all, actually. It's very pleasant to use, and I actually do recommend this keyboard. Apple wireless keyboards are $60, so you pay a fourth of that, and you get pretty much all the functionality, especially if you're just going to be using it occasionally. It's definitely a good value.